Hello, this is Barry. You're watching Barry and the PI. Well, I thought I'd talk a little bit about what's going on lately. About a week ago, a little over a week ago, at a little after 11 o'clock p.m., we had an earthquake hit. And I believe it was from the volcano, the Taal volcano, that caused it. It shook for about 20 seconds, and I was just sitting in my chair and feeling it. And then the next day, on a Saturday, we had a really heavy thunderstorm hit. As a matter of fact, two of them that day. And I mean, the loud banging going on, lightning hitting close by. Uh, had the dogs in there. I was sitting on the couch, and they were all coming to me to protect them, I guess. Especially Lily. Lily's really frightened of thunder. And so it took me 5 days to get the PLDT out here to finally get it fixed and get back on the internet. And about 2 days later, we had another thunderstorm hit. Sure enough, no internet. So I wasn't able to put up many videos here in the past week. But we're all right now. I got it going. It's working good. So today I'd talk to you about my experiences in the U.S. Navy. I joined the Navy right out of high school. Uh, my best friend, Roger, had got his draft notice as soon as he graduated, and then went into the Army for 2 years. And the other friend, Bill, he joined the Navy with me. So we went through boot camp together. He went into the Navy Corpsman and was stationed at the San Diego, and I just went and became an airman, and they sent me to Crow's Landing Naval Auxiliary Landing Field in the San Juan, no, San Jacinto near Merced, in the valley there. Now, Crow's Landing is just a small little base. There were only 90 men on base, only two officers. Things were pretty much run by the chief petty officers. There were several of those. We didn't have any gates. There's nobody manning the gates. You can drive right on up. Usually people from the town would come and go to the enlisted men's club. We had no officers club. Uh, Small base, very diverse workforce, and I eventually got uh, placed on the landing field. Uh, so, reason why that base was there is because it was set up with all the mirrors and stuff, just like you would have on an aircraft carrier, and they would practice landing. And they would do that. They would just come, land, and then take that on back off and just fly around and around and around. When when I got there, about the second day, uh, two planes collided, and one man died. The other bailed out, parachuted off. Uh, so this is going at that time 24 hours a day, just about 7 days a week. Planes from different bases around California would come in and practice carrier landing, and so mine was just, the job was to go and taxi them in when they come in, get fueled, and then operating the machines to start them. You had gas turbine engines and stuff. We had several different kinds of vehicles, depending on what type of plane was over there landing. It was considered really good duty. Everybody loved to come to Crow's Landing because we had some of the best food in the Navy. The farmers grew their crops right up to the landing field, and they were always bringing us fresh vegetables. And we had several cooks, and they were good ones. So it was good. It was a good duty. And then shortly after I arrived, they stopped coming because they opened a new naval air base nearby, and they were going there to do their practice carrier landings. So for a while there, we didn't have anything to do. So we played volleyball. We had one hell of a good volleyball team. We played by the jungle rules. Had some guys get concussions from it. You go up there, and so we did that, and then they started coming back, not at full like it used to be, but we would get several squadrons coming in, and so I was busy on that at that time. I made airman while I was there, and so they made me the chief airman there. So I got to assign people to do stuff like that, but I didn't really do much. During that time, I started. I got some comedy albums, and I'd memorize them, and then I'd do them before the guys there, and they had loved it. They always telling me, "Barry, do your comedy stuff," and that gave me an idea that I probably should be doing this professionally someday. But as I say, the food there was really good, and that's why a lot of these squadrons loved coming to Crow's Landing, because they were going to get fed good food and in a more relaxed atmosphere. I watched this old colonel who had been an ace pilot in World War II, I think, or maybe the Korean War, chew out a young lieutenant for getting on one of our guys that didn't salute him. And he said, "You don't do that around this place. It's Crow's Landing. It's different. You don't put on your airs." He was one of our favorite pilots to fly there. Some other things, when the Blue Angels went to Moffett Field, do an air show there, and they came over to Crow's Landing to practice, and they put on a show for all of us guys and the townspeople. So they did their show there, and we got to see it up close. They brought their own plane captain, so I didn't have to go and strap them in or anything like that. But I got to meet them all, and that was a really great day. Plus, when these pilots would fly in there, and they finished their practicing, and we would tell them, "Hey, do a little low speed run over us." And usually, "Yeah, all right, we'll do that." And they go back over town and go down and about fly right over the landing field, about 10 feet off there, real fast, and then pull up and hit the afterburners and stuff. And we always enjoyed that. And then one of my other duties there was we had to, every once in a while, had to do guard duty. And sometimes at night. And usually I got about 10, 11 o'clock shift. That means I start from the administration building, and I'd walk past the rec building and the barracks, past the tower, flight tower, and go over to where the fire station was. So it's a good little ways. But I'd be pretty tired, you know. I think 11 o'clock to 7 o'clock shift, I'd be a little sleepy, on that. One day at night, I went and did my rounds, come back, went over there, and I was passing the swimming pool area, which had a fence around it, a wood fence around it, and I heard something in there. Sounded like giggling and splashing. I got my light out, flashlight out, go over there, and it was our executive officer, young Lieutenant J.G., I think, and he had one of his girlfriends from town in there, and they were swimming around. And he said, "Hey, Mary, come on in." And I can do that. And so I let them go, and I went and finished, went back, and I said, the lieutenant was in the swimming pool with his girlfriend. "Oh, God, a duty officer. Let's just keep it quiet." Another time, I was real tired, and I got in there, hung around the administration building for a little while, bullshitting with the other guy, duty officer, and I made my rounds. And it was cold, kind of, too. And I went on down, up through that, and I'm coming back, and I go through the barracks. And I said, "Damn, I'm sure I'm sleepy." I got to the rec part, and there was a pool table. So I just thought, no, I'll just lay down for a minute. You know, so I get up there and laid down, went to sleep, just like that. About an hour later, they came looking for me. Oh, so I got written up for that. Had to go before the commander, and I think he gave me 2 weeks uh, confined to the barracks and like that. So that was some of the things that happened to me. Uh, After my 2 years in that, I was uh, sent to Moffett Air Force Base outside of San Francisco, Mountain View, and as a plane captain. And uh, that was pretty good, pretty good duty. It was VA 215. We were one of 2 squadrons that still flew those A1 Sky Raiders, single engine propeller, I think Pratt and Whitney engine, really powerful engine. And it was a bomber, and it was a dive bomber. And most of them were just one pilot. And the plane I was assigned to was flown by Lieutenant, I can't remember his name, Mateer. He was a Cajun from Louisiana, had a nice family, 3 kids, and one day we got sent to Fallon, Nevada, temporary duty, to practice bombing on their bombing range there. They had a big, large bombing range. And about 2 days before we were to go, we were playing, I played basketball. We had our squadron team, and I suffered a broken ankle. So I went to Fallon, but I was confined to just the barracks. Couldn't go anywhere. I had a big cast and crutches, and so they went out. Now, Mr. Mateer and I looked up to him like a big brother. I'd invite him to say, "Sir, come over to the Enlisted Men's Club and drink beer with us?" And he'd say, "Yeah, I'll do that." And they'll bring in another, the pilots would join, and we'd go over there and we'd get drunk and, at the Enlisted Men's Club. And he did that several times. He's just this cool guy. I really respected him and liked him. Well, I was sitting in the barracks, and the other guys came in and said, "Barry, Mr. Mateer is dead. He crashed into the ground." And, sometimes when they're diving down and they're pulling up to release their bombs, the G-forces on you are such that you may black out or something like that. And crashed into the ground. And that really affected me. I'd never had anybody that I cared about, I knew, had died. And that was really rough on me. And so I decided I wasn't going to stay in the Navy beyond my term, and so and I went and took the SAT exams, and got accepted into the University of Texas. And so when my time was over, I went back to Austin and enrolled in UT. But Mr. Mateer, wherever you are, thanks so much for being a really great guy. And I missed you all these years later. So that's my Navy career pretty much. Although when I was stationed at Moffett Field, summers, on the weekends, I'd go hitchhike into San Francisco. It wasn't that far away. And I went to the Purple Onion, which was a big comedy club. Saw Professor Irwin Corey, who was a funny, funny guy, and several other big comedians there. And you know, I enjoyed San Francisco. I liked it there. And so I got out and went back to Texas. And that's my story of me and my when we go out, we went to Hawaii a couple of times. We went on the USS Ranger. They didn't tell us where we were going or what we were going. Just said, pack your bags and you go. We're going on the USS Ranger. And it wasn't until we set sail that we even knew where we were going. And we were heading for the Panama Canal and into Cuba. This is right during the Cuban Missile Crisis. And they settled that Russia removed the missiles and everything. We didn't go to war. Thank God. So that's about it. Y'all take care. Get vaccinated. And take care of your pets. Take care of your neighbors. Take care of the disabled. And I'll see you again soon. And tell your friends about my channel. I hope they would like to watch some of the crazy things I do on here. And let's get my subscribers up. So y'all take care, and we'll see you soon.